I've been reselling on eBay for 25 years, and these are the top 10 mistakes that people make that destroy their business. Welcome to Flipping and Punching. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Rod. I'm a full-time reseller. I've been selling on eBay since 1999, a very long time. And today, we're gonna talk about the 10 biggest mistakes eBay resellers make that could really crush your business. Now, before that, we're gonna pull some eBay orders along the way. So we'll pull a couple orders, jump into this. Everything on this list, I have made this mistake, so I can tell you from firsthand how it's hindered my business. And hopefully the purpose of this video is get you guys to avoid making these same mistakes I did. I wanna say thank you for each and every one of you guys. I couldn't believe the overwhelming response I got from my last video. You know, I took 2 months off from putting a video on this channel, and it was great to hear from each and every one of you guys. So I'm excited to keep putting out videos here and to keep going. But let's jump into this because this is a lot of important information, and let's pull about 2 orders first, and then we'll jump right into it. All right, first item we sold is actually a Disney figurine statue. This is, as you see right here, Mickey and Yen Sid dealer display. This one, oops, is actually from Fantasia. It's a huge box, man. I mean, look at the size of that thing. Picked this up in that big Disney purchase I did. I don't know what I probably got, like 30, 40 bucks invested in this, and I sold it. Took a best offer. I had it listed for $159.99. I think we sold that $125, so I got $125 plus shipping on that. So another Disney piece. Now this was one of the Disney showcase pieces. This is like the Paul Revere. One by land, one by sea, determined Patriot. It's actually a pretty big piece. You can see the box here on that. But once again, this came from that big Disney pickup I did. Had it listed for $79.99. I took a best offer on this, 60 bucks. I probably put an estimate like 20, 30 bucks on this. So what I probably have into it. So I get $60 plus shipping. Not to mention, these 2 big things took up a big portion of a shelf. I'm happy to get these off the shelf so I can put more inventory on there. When I go through the biggest mistakes that resellers make, these are in no particular order. All right, so the first one I want to talk about, and this is going to probably touch home with all of you guys, is buying too much or buying because it's a good deal. Just because it's a good deal does not mean that you need to buy it. Listen, this is the biggest mistake I made throughout my entire reselling career, that I would buy items because it was such a good deal, but then you have to sell those items or move those items. So I would buy items because they're such a good deal, but they had a low sell-through rate, which ended up hurting my business that sat around. It would take up space, and they would just sit there for 6 months, a year, 2 years before it would actually sell. You buy items because it's such a good deal, but you don't have a way to move it or a way to sell it. So recently, a friend of mine reached out to me and said that they were looking to buy this massive collection of Star Wars posters, and we're talking thousands of them. But I was like, after talking to them, I was like, hey, it could be a really good deal, but how are you gonna move these? How fast are you gonna move these? How are they gonna sit in inventory? You gotta store these. You know, these are things you need to take in consideration. And I'll give you an example. If you guys been watching my Pick and Punching channel for a while, I went to a yard sale and a guy had a ton of Harley parts out for sale. And he had tires, rims, everything. And he just wanted it gone. I bought the entire Harley lot for $175. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a great deal, but you know what? Over a year later, that stuff's still sitting in my storage because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, how I'm gonna sell it off. I don't wanna ship the tires, I don't wanna do it. I can sell it locally. I just haven't got around to do it because I dread doing it. So don't buy things just because it's a good deal. Only make big purchases where you know where you're gonna move those items. So for example, I bought out a massive Star Wars collection. You guys haven't seen it yet. It's gonna be my Pick and Punching channel. But I knew right away I'm gonna run those on Didbit and sell all those off and pull out the higher dollar ones and put those on eBay. So I already had a plan in mind before I even purchased the item. So do not buy items without having a plan in mind. Now this next one is huge. Phoenix Resale recently talked about this in one of his videos. There's so many resellers out there that are inventory rich and cash flow poor. And what I mean by that is thousands or tens of thousands of dollars tied up in your inventory, but your cash flow is very low. I know a lot of resellers out there. I know a lot of resellers are in this position, and I was once in this position as well. That's why I preach in this channel all the time that cash flow is so important. I can't tell you how many resellers have reached out to me and say, hey, I found this great deal. Would you like to go partners with it because I don't have the cash? Hey, you know, I only have X amount of dollars to work with. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all start at someplace. I started my business with less than like $100 in my pocket. And over time, you know, I've grown my business, but I made a lot of bad purchases over the years where my money was tied up. You guys sell me Disney figurine statues. I purchased those last year. I purchased those in October. So they've been sitting in my inventory now for 4 or 5 months now. So granted, I've already made my money back on those, but I knew going into that was gonna be a slow selling item, and I was okay with that because I knew what I was getting myself into. But there's times that we go out and make these big purchases and we don't know what we're getting our stuff into. All of our money's up in inventory and we don't have the cash flow. Phoenix Resale said a big thing that actually hit home with me and a lot of other people. If someone approached you with the buy of a lifetime, say like you can buy $100,000 worth of inventory for $5,000. Do you have the $5,000 to purchase that massive collection that could literally change your life or change your business? And if the answer is no, then that's something you guys need to reevaluate with your business. And trust me, I've been there multiple times and stuff like that, and you need to know, but I'll give you guys a good example. An opportunity popped up on Facebook Marketplace right around the pandemic time, and a guy had a massive video game collection. It was like an hour away from me. He wanted $1,000 for it. He literally just listed that day and it had to be out that day because he waited the last second to move. And I literally drove down there. I bought his entire collection of video games, and it was $10,000 plus, $10,000 to $15,000 worth of stuff. From video game consoles to video games. I literally had my wife's SUV at the time. I completely filled the back seat, the trunk, the front seat, and I had to pay the guy money to drive 45 minutes to my house to unload the rest of the stuff in his van. That's how much inventory I got for $1,000 at that point in time, and it was $10,000 plus. So I was able to 10x my money, which opened the door for me to come back again when he had brand new sealed items. He had a whole seal collection that I paid, I think, $2,600 for. Now, granted, thank God I had the capital that time because that literally changed the trajectory of my business. I bought a Castlevania game that Nintendo was sealed at that time. It was only worth like $400 or $500. Sent off, got graded, and I sold that for $8,500. Completely changed what I do in my business, how I do stuff, and I was able to level up. So cash flow is so important. So many people get stuck on, oh, I don't want to take a loss list, I want to take a loss list. It is okay to move stale inventory, stuff that's been sitting around for 6 months or a year. It's a sunk cost. You've already spent the money. Get back, even if you get back, you break even, you get back 75% of your money, you get back 50% of your money, but you have that cash flow to invest it in new purchases that are going to make you money. So don't be afraid to do that. All right, next time we sold is a racing jacket. Now, this is a very interesting story. The buyer reached out to me last week. I had it listed for $219. I had it listed for $220 plus shipping. It's brand new. Bought it at a yard sale, paid $75 for it. Buyer reached out to me and said, hey, would you take $150 free shipping? I know I can get more just based on the comp. So I told him no, but I'm willing to work with you. Offered to them for $180. Buyer countered me. Offered to the buyer for $190 with shipping. Buyer came back like a week later and said, hey, I'm willing to come up to $175 free shipping. I said, you know what? Paid $75 for it. I'll take that. Let's get it moved, get the cash flow coming back in the business. Right here, this is Kyle Busch, brand new with tags. Beautiful jacket, absolutely stunning. Buyer said they need it for a photo shoot. Buyer sends me an offer for $160 because the tax comes up to $172. Explain to buyer, listen, we agreed on $170 with free shipping. I've already dropped my price, $45 and $15 for shipping, so I'm taking $60 off. I'm not accepting anything less. Buyer agreed, buyer paid for it right away. Literally a minute after they paid for it, they sent me a message, I want you to send out the item today. Listen, I try to get the best customer service possible, but don't tell me how to run my business or what I need to do. Nicely sent the buyer a message back saying, hi, I'm sorry that you waited to purchase the item. We've already shipped everything out for today. We packaged items up the night before, but I'll gladly ship it out first thing tomorrow for you, and thank you for the purchase. Hopefully they get happy. Hopefully they're happy with, but this buyer has been kind of, kind of difficult to deal with, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen after they receive this jacket. All right, next time we sold is a Disney pin. Right here, this is the Ernest S. Marsh engine number 4 with a Minnie Mouse on it. Brand new in the package. I paid $3 for this. Had it listed for $49.99. Sent the buyer an offer for $39.99. They counted me at $30. I counted back at $35, and then they counted me at $33.99. So I got $3 into it. Screw it, we'll take it. So I got $33.99 plus shipping for this. All right, let's pull one more order here, and then we'll go back to talking about the biggest mistakes people make. Right here, this is the Hellraiser laser disc. Bought this and was on the Peaches the Beaches with the common low picker and death pile picker. Paid $5 for that. I had it listed for $29.99, and I ended up selling it for $24.99 plus shipping. Number 3 on the list, letting your death pile get out of control or having to pay for storage and not listing your items. So I am all about getting stuff out of your house and paying an offsite unit to store your items, but do not have a whole storage unit filled with unlisted items that you're just paying every single month to store these items. You're paying to hoard these items. That's gonna chip away at your bottom line, your profits. Now for me, I had multiple storage units. Yes, some of that stuff was unlisted, but there was a big portion of it that was listed. So I had shelving units in there. I had a bunch of items that were listed on there, but I also had a bunch of other items that were unlisted. If you guys saw my last video, Operation CSO, trying to clear shit out, I literally took multiple loads to the local thrift store and just got rid of stuff, because at the end of the day, if I would take the time to list all that stuff, if I would take the time to try to sell some of it off, which I did. So I did get a comment about why didn't I sell that stuff off. I did sell a bunch of it to some local resellers, but also too, there's a bunch of stuff in there that just came in giant lots or big collections I bought that really wasn't worth it, or it wasn't worth their time. So it was easier for me just to move that stuff because I didn't want to get stuck paying another month of rent at that place. So at the end of the day, it was worth it for me just to move on from the merchandise to do that. What I'm saying here is, do not let your death pile get out of control. Yes, I'm okay having a death pile for a week or two or a couple weeks, but don't get to the point where you have a whole room in your house, a whole garage filled with stuff that's unlisted. It's not healthy. It's not, trust me, I've been there. I'm still working through it myself, but I have a little bit different business model than a lot of you guys. I'm going to be moving a lot of items through live auctions, also on multiple marketplaces, but do not do that. It's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of new sellers make, because they like the source, like the buy, but they don't like the listing part. Once again, that's a cash flow money just sitting there that's being wasted, not listed. So it's very important to get this stuff going because you want to get the cash flow going through. You'll see that as a constant theme throughout this video. Number 4, sell-through rate. Not checking the sell-through rate on items, knowing how fast they're gonna sell. Now, if you guys don't know how to check the sell-through rate, a quick mathematical equation to do this is, sell-through rate is how many items are listed on eBay divided by how many items are sold in the last 90 days. That gives you what your sell-through rate in the last 90 days is on eBay. Let's just say you buy an item and there's 9 listed on eBay and 3 sold in the last 90 days. That means every 90 days, 3 of those items will sell. So it will take 3 cycles of 90 days, 270 days to have all 9 of those items to sell, hypothetically. And this is a big problem a lot of people have, especially new sellers. You look at comps and you get tunnel vision. You're like, oh man, this one sold for 50 bucks. This one sold for 60. But then there's 100 listed on eBay for 20 bucks. And you think you're gonna get those big dollars for that. Those may just be outliners. People just wanna buy it right now, just saw the first thing that popped up and bought it. That normally doesn't happen a lot. What I always tell people is make sure you're checking the sell-through rate. You get fast selling items, because why? Because it keeps the cash flow coming back to your business. Once again, we're talking about cash flow, but also too, it gets this inventory out of your area, and that allows you to buy more items. So you need the constant cycle that keeps going through. You buy items, you list them, you sell them, you get the cash in, and then boom, you can go buy more items. You can consistently keep that going. You're gonna just keep upping your business and you're gonna keep leveling up. All right, next time we sold is a Disney Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like a jean jacket, super cool piece. You can't really see it. I'll put a picture on the screen so you guys can actually see like what it fully looks like. I think I paid 10 bucks for this at a garage sale, and we sold it for $69.99 plus shipping. All right, next time we sold is a couple hats. So both these the same buyer. I've had these in my store forever. I think I sold them for like $3-4 bucks a piece. Guitar Missy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Big supporter of the channels, has been watching my videos for a long time and occasionally comes to the store and buys things from time to time. So really appreciate you. I don't get a lot of viewer sales, but when I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right, so next one I want to talk about, number 5, is having tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is, for a long time, I used to go to garage sales, and I would only look for video games or bobbleheads, and I would go to 10, 15, 20 garage sales before I found anything. Same thing when I go to flea market. I was only looking for specific things at the flea market, and I was missing out on a lot of opportunity out there. You guys have to remember, time is money. So when you guys are outsourcing stuff, don't be afraid to take chances on stuff. Don't be afraid to watch other videos on YouTube or learn different type of markets. But when you have tunnel vision and you miss out on these opportunities, listen, you can be a clothing seller, but if you come to a garage sale and you see a $50 N64 bundle with 100 games, like that's a no-brainer. You need to buy that stuff. So don't have tunnel vision. Don't walk past these other things. It's okay to dabble in other marketplaces, even if you're a specific niche down seller. There's other opportunities out there, so don't pass those up, because you don't have to sell those directly online. It's okay for you to take those items that you guys do find and wholesale them out to another reseller, so you can make money, they can make money, and move on. So don't have tunnel vision. But I will tell you, the biggest part, what it really was a game changer for my business, is when I stopped having tunnel vision and I started to expand my knowledge to other markets. And some of those markets now, like clothing and other things, is something I sell consistently because I found a lot more opportunity there. I found that I did enjoy picking this up, buying it, selling it. So don't be afraid to take chances, because when you take chances, you learn what to buy and what not to buy. Just a full disclaimer out there. When you take a chance, make sure it's a calculated risk. Make sure you do your research. You know what you're doing. Don't go out there and just spend $10,000 on a Disney pin collection because you saw that I bought one and that you make a lot of money. I recently had someone reach out to me and ask me about, hey, would this be a good deal? It was not a good deal. The people wanted like $13 a piece. It was like a $10,000 plus collection. A lot of pins in there that I was selling for $5+. So for me, my buy cost was $3, where their buy cost would have been 5 times that or 4 times that. So it wasn't a good buy. So, but it's good that you have a network and you're able to ask. And that brings me to number 6 is having a network of people around you. You can join local Facebook groups, local resellers. You go to these meetup events, start networking with other resellers in your area or the vendors at flea markets when you guys go to places like this. Antique malls. You have an expert to reach out to when you do come across something that they know about. Number 2, when you do befriend a lot of these people at the flea market and stuff like that, they know that you're going to buy and that you are going to treat them fair. They will find specific items for you, or put items aside for you. So when you go to these places, you don't have to struggle and try to find items. You guys watch my videos all the time. A lot of times I go to these flea markets and they know I'm coming. They have stuff. Hey, I was waiting for you to come. I had this in my back here, because they know I'll pay up for it. They can make a nice chunk for it, or they look for items that I buy because they're consistent see me. Networking is huge. Work smart, not hard. Have someone else do the work for you, pay up for those items, but then you're minimizing the amount of time you're spending doing this. You can get more listing done and you can make more money. All right, next time we sold is a patch. This was a special edition New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks patch. This is for the Super Bowl. This is from 2015 when the Patriots beat the Seahawks. Bought a massive collection of these. I think I paid like $3 or $4 a piece for each one of these patches, somewhere in that ballpark. And we ended up selling this one for $49.99 plus shipping. Now I know these are gonna be slower sellers, but the best thing about these, they don't take up a lot of rooms. I literally have them on the binder. I have, 50 something of them listed originally, and they took up a little space on my shelf. So I'm okay getting slower selling items if they are small and don't take up a lot of space. Is when the items take up a lot of space and they're slow selling, that's when it becomes an issue. We sold some video games, so let's pull all those. PS3 Army of 2, this is the Overkill edition. We got $14.99 plus shipping, and I paid probably $1 or $2 for that. Barbie Explorer for PS1. I had this listed, I think, for $22.99. I think I ended up take a best offer for $19.99 plus shipping. This came in a massive collection, so I got about $2 into it. Chuck Rock, Son of Chuck. This is for Sega Genesis. Had this for $19.99. Buyer sent me an offer for $15. I accepted it. That was for my personal collection. I probably had like $5 into it. So I'm trying to downsize some of my video games because I had like thousands of games. One of my New Year's resolutions this year is not to collect just to collect. I'm going to collect things that what the hell just fell. I'm going to collect things that mean something to me. So I'm trying to downsize that. So I'm getting more and more into cards, and I actually love that. So if I get rid of a lot of my video game stuff, I can use that space to put more cards in unopened packs, open packs. I'm not sure if you guys saw the video on Pick and Punching channel, but I bought the most ridiculous thing at a garage sale. French fry holder. I don't know. I could not leave this behind. Like, it's French fry holder for your car. I'm going to run this on Dibbit today and just kind of sell it off. But yeah, I paid $1 for it. Most ridiculous things ever. I'm sure that person, whoever invented that, made millions of dollars off it. So money's out there. Just got to find it. All right, here's a big one for time management. And that is not resetting your business the night before. I know you guys, people comment on a video like, oh, well, maybe your life would be so crazy if you cleaned up your kitchen table, you had all that stuff in your living area. What you guys don't know is at the end of the day, I actually clean all that stuff up, and we don't have it sitting there the next day. When you guys see this, I start my day at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I start putting stuff out there, start working, packing it up. My wife's away. My wife hates clutter. So by the time she gets home, all that stuff's gone. What I mean by this is a reset the night before. So how many times have you guys started your day and you guys stood in front of your debt pile, sat in front of your computer, looked at all your inventory, didn't know what you want to do. You want to package your items, you don't know if you want to list, you don't know what you want to do. So the night before, pull out the 10, 15, 20 items you're going to photograph to list the next day, get those set up. Clear off your photo station, clear off your desk, clear off all that so you have a good work area to work and clear your mind. Secondly, make a list of what you need to accomplish the next day. So like today I made a list. I need to film this video right here. I need to package up my orders. I'm doing a live auction on Dibbit. I need to package up my whatnot orders because last night I did a sports card show. I need to edit my card video to get that up and running. And I need to start editing my Picking Punching video today so I can get that dropped the next day. And I need to edit this video to get this out on Wednesday. So I have a long day ahead of me, but I already know what I have to do. In between picking the kid up and cooking dinner and taking the puppies for a W, and I can't say the word because they'll come running down from upstairs and invade my area. But by doing this, I woke up this morning, I didn't even have to think about anything. I just hit the ground running. So it's very important that you guys should reset the night before, make a list of what you guys need to do, and it makes your life 10 times easier because you know what you need to accomplish. You can mentally map out your day and you will accomplish more. Number 8, and I got a little friend next to me right now. Hey Sky, say hi. Set goals for your business. One of the biggest reasons why people say, oh, my sales are so slow, all this stuff, people don't put goals in place. I have long-term goals for my business for 6 months a year. I have short-term goals based off different months, and I have daily and weekly goals. Let's just say you want to make you want to sell $120,000 a year on eBay. That might be your long-term goal. Well, your medium goal will be that you need to sell $10,000 a month. Okay, now break that down per week. It gives you an idea of kind of what you need to do, what you need to list. Now, let's just say, well, I thought I was doing great. I was listing $300 a day. Well, if I need to get $500 in sales a day, how am I going to accomplish my goal if I'm not even listing $500 a day? You have to understand your business. You need to set goals in place. Plus, it gives you something to work to, and you can adjust and adapt as you go through. There's so many times where I may not hit my $500 in sales that day or $500 listed that day, but what I want to do is, then I know, okay, well, how do I make that up, later on the week? Well, maybe that day I spend more time on listing and adjust my schedule. Or maybe I had a huge sales week. I can take some time off to work on other things of the business I need to do, like maybe redo my inventory system, maybe clear out my desk area, maybe spend a day cleaning or doing other things that need to be taken care of that you've been putting off. So having goals in place will help you accomplish what you need to accomplish. But if you don't have set goals in place, don't understand how your business is running, you're going to be lost the entire time. All right, these next sales are going to blow you away because when I tell you what I pay for this stuff, you probably won't believe me, but there will be a video coming out in the near future in the Picking Punching channel where I go and I buy a massive collection of Transformers and Star Wars stuff. My buy cost is less than like $3 an item. And these Transformers are selling 10 times better than what I thought they would, and they're fast sellers. Right here, this is the first one we sold. Construction Hightower. We got $89.99 plus shipping. Right here, Moon Racer Autobots. We got $40 plus shipping. And Bumblebee, I had it listed for $60, took a best offer of $50 plus shipping. A lot of the Transformers were Target or Walmart exclusive, but if you do come across the Transformers that came out in like 2015 to like modern day now, look them up if you see them at a yard sale. They bring really good money, and I had no idea. And there's probably about $1,000 in Transformers in here. These are Studio Series, what you want to look for. They always have a number in the side, stuff like that, but a lot of these in here are going for $50 plus bucks. Some in here are going for $200 plus. They're just, I had no idea. So something to keep a lookout for. Normally I don't show any of my sports card stuff on this channel that often because I have a second channel called PickingAndPunching Cards. If you guys like sports cards, non-sports cards, go check out that channel. Real similar to like my regular channel, but we do all kind of sports stuff on there only. I had a huge sale on eBay. So there's a baseball player named Shohei Ohtani, one of the best baseball players in the world. He hit 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in 1 year, and Topps did a special card. You can go out and buy them. They're like, I think $12 a card, and if you bought 5, you got a discount like $10 a piece. Anyway, when I got the cards in the mail sent to me, I hit this special card, which is a short print. This is the card, Shohei Ohtani, waving to the crowd. This is a short print card. Had it listed on eBay for $750, got a lot of offers on it, and I just took a best offer for $712 for that card. Great day. Yesterday was a great day of sales. $700 plus for that one card, and I bought 5 cards for $50. So I got lucky. That normally doesn't happen, but you know what? Sometimes it's better be lucky than good. All right, next time I sold is a comic book. This is Longshot. Longshot is actually a member of the X-Men. Now this is a special edition because it is a newsstand. If you see the UPC code down below here, this book is from the 80s. When you see the UPC code, that means it sat at a newsstand on a rack, not protected. Someone came and bought it, and this thing still came out to 9.6. For those that don't know, 9.6, a 9.8 is considered almost perfect. 9.6 is a step below. They go a 10.0, a 9.99, 9.8, 9.6. To find a 9.9 or a 10.0 in some books is nearly impossible. There's not even ones out there. So usually a 9.8 is the highest rated book, and a 9.6 be the second one. Adding the fact that it was on a newsstand adds another rarity to it. Originally I had that book listed for $200. Buyer sent me an offer for $150. I took it. I had it sitting up there for about a year or two, and price too high. Originally, a couple years back during the pandemic, that book was probably going for like $300 or $400 at that time. And because it was a newsstand, I listed it higher than that. Got a little greedy, I guess you can say, but also too, you never knew because things are just going so crazy. You really had no idea what was going to happen. Things that sold for the highest they've ever sold. So you threw up there super high. I was the only one up there. Unfortunately, it didn't sell, but still, I literally have, I think about $30, $40 into that book. That's including the $30 I spent to get it pressed and graded, plus the shipping. And I bought that book I bought a massive collection. I probably paid 10 to 20 cents for that book. So I'll take $150 all day long. One of the biggest things, you have to be organized. If you guys ever watch ADH Days videos, you'll see how many times when he was selling on eBay, he didn't have a good system for his inventory, and he would always misplace or lose items, which ended up costing him money at the end of the day, and then he would find them later on. Also, too, the biggest mistake people make is you're wasting time trying to search for inventory. I would say, as a brand new seller, you should get yourself a tote, label your tote, and get a clear tote, because you can see through it, see how much inventory is actually in there, and label your tote or boxes or whatever, however you're going to store your stuff. A1, A2, A3, A4, and then put that on your listing, so that way when you do sell an item, you can find it. Because what's going to happen as you expand your business, you're going to add more and more items to your store. Like, for example, I have 1,400 items in my eBay store right now. If I didn't have an inventory system, I would spend hours per day looking for items and not be able to find them. One of the things I do a hybrid inventory system where I do have them listed as A1, A2, A3, A4, but I have a tendency to put all my video games in, like, maybe like say B234 or A XYZ or whatever you do, so that you can still put like items together, but have an inventory where you know where they're gonna go and where they belong. So that way there's no confusion, because as you expand your business, what if you need someone to come in and help you put orders? What happens if you get sick, get hurt, and you need someone to help with your business? Or if you expand and you hire an employee to help out, you have to have a system in place. Start that from the very beginning. It will pay dividends long term and save you so much time. And this last part is going to be two parts. One is it's going to be making sure you have the proper equipment for your business. I can't tell you how many years I went not investing in a thermal printer because I was being frugal, being cheap. I was like, oh, I'll just print off paper. I wasted so much time having to hand tape all my labels to my boxes. And for an extra $100, I bought myself a label printer, and it was a game changer for my business. So highly recommend that you guys do have the proper tools for your business. When you're brand new starting out, I do not recommend going out buying fancy cameras, buying all this fancy stuff. You can get by just having a label printer and using your cell phone to take photos and pictures. That's all you need to list. Get yourself a digital scale, and that's all you need. A scale, a thermal printer, and your phone. Keep it simple, keep it easy. As you scale up, then you can invest in other products later on. But on the reverse side, for all you experienced sellers out there, let me tell you, time is money. And I keep a backup of all my items. So I keep all my photos saved to my iCloud. So if my phone breaks or something else, I can literally access all my phones from my computer and still list. If my label printer goes down, I keep a spare at the house, because what happens the day that I have designated to ship out items, and now I can't ship up my items, that puts me behind my business. That's gonna hurt me listing everything else. Waiting to get this, spending time running the store to pick up products. Have backups. I have backup bubble wrap, I have backup boxes, I have backup labels. I have all backups for all my stuff, because time is money. And if any of that thing goes wrong or goes down, I don't wanna waste any time having to try to fix that problem. It's gonna set your business back, especially if you're in a very tight schedule. Recommend for experienced sellers, have a backup of everything. If you're a brand new seller, use the bare minimum to start off with. Make sure you do like it, and then go from there. I can't tell you how many people want to spend $2,000 on a new little computer and buying a $400 camera and investing all this money, and they don't even know this is something they want to do. Don't make that mistake. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. There's a lot of other things out there that can help your business, but I thought this would be a nice transition from our last video to this one. And I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys do check out Dibbit Threads. We launched it last week for our rate train. It was a huge success for the business. We had people selling for almost 12 straight hours. Got a lot of new followers on there. People were able to expand their business. So something that you can do as well, especially if you're interested in selling clothes, or if you're interested in selling cards or sports cards. We did open up Dibbit cards. We already have 600 plus members in the card market, so check those out. But anyway, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you guys do like and subscribe. Until next time, make sure you guys keep flipping and punching.